Hi guys, welcome to the second part of this introductory chapter. My name is Tushar Suvarna. I am your trainer for today, and let's begin with the session. So we are going to try and cover two formulas in this particular video, including if condition and a compound if condition in this particular scenario. So let's look at this scenario. We want to find the student who has received 51.50%, whether he is passing in this particular class or he is failing. So the two scenarios are based on comparison with the minimum percentage that is required to pass. Let's for now assume that 40% is the minimum percentage that is required for a student to pass. So if the student receives less than 40%, or you could say if he receives less than 40%, then he is fail, otherwise he is pass. Or we can create a condition which states if the student is receiving greater than 40%, then he is pass, and anything other than that he will be failing. So we will try and create the latter one, and using a simple if condition, let's try. So we are going to type the formula as we are going to discuss the condition itself. So it is as simple as just knowing the formula and speaking out the condition. So I'm going to say if bracket open, remember a round bracket open, select your percentage, that is M2, if M2 is greater than and equals to 40%. Don't forget the percentage sign, because remember we are looking at in the percentage column, so the percentage sign is important in our condition as well, comma. If you are good at reading hints, then your answers become as easy as possible. What is it asking you now? It's asking what should be the value if this particular condition is true. So the value that we are expecting over here is exactly pass. Remember, whenever we have a string output, always put it inside a double quote, comma, and the value if the student is not passing, that means the value if this condition is not true should be fail. It's as simple as that. Close your brackets and hit enter. You can drag this formula down, and there you go. You have the students passing in all subjects. Let's try and reduce the marks of few students so that we have a checklist based on what we require. So I have something around 20 marks, let's say 5 marks. Immediately we notice that the student fails as the percentage drops below 40%. Let's look at a percentage of a student who receives more than like 60%. So let's look at this student right now. This student has got 66%. However, it is also seen that if I reduce the marks of one particular subject, for instance, he has got 20 marks in one subject, and let's say he has got 10 marks in another subject, the aggregate still goes above 40, and since my aggregate is above 40, this formula doesn't work, because this formula is only taking into consideration the percentage of the student and not the individual subjects. Now in this case, even though the student is failing in 2 subjects, he is shown as pass. Okay, so let's look at something called as a compound statement. A compound statement is used whenever we want to have more than one conditions assessed. So earlier we had only a single condition, that if the percentage is greater than 40%, then the student is fail. In this case, we are now going to check all individual subjects. For instance, the student should be passing in English, he should be passing in Hindi, Marathi, Maths, Science and Social Science. Whenever we are in a scenario when we want to make all these possible conditions true, then only the value if true should be printed or the value if false should be printed. In that case, we are going to use compound statements. So there are two compound statements, and or. So in this case, we are going to use the and statement. We'll do the or part in later assignments. However, I am trying to going to try and explain you how and why and will be used here. So let's see. If bracket open, in the combination with an if condition, we are going to type and bracket open, and the condition goes as if bracket open and bracket open English, the marks in English is greater than and equals to 40. Remember, don't put your percentage sign here since we are looking at marks, comma, Hindi greater than and equals to 40, comma, Marathi greater than and equals to 40, comma, maths greater than and equal to 40, comma, and social science and science greater than and equals to 40 as well. So this entire logical statement which is inside the AND bracket is now the logical statement for the if condition, comma, if all of these values inside the AND statement are true, then what should the student be? Basically, he is passing. Otherwise, he is failing. So that is what my compound if condition states. If all of the conditions mentioned inside the AND bracket are true, then only the student will be shown as pass. Otherwise, he will be shown as fail. So let's test this condition out. I guess we'll get a lot more failures than we expected, because mostly every column, or you could say every cell row, has one particular failure in every particular row. Can you see this? Exactly. So we have just one student who is actually passing and the rest of them are failing. So that's it guys for today's video. Stay tuned for the upcoming videos where we'll be doing the next part of this particular project. Do share your feedbacks to us whenever possible and help us get better by the day. Finally, don't forget to like or subscribe our channel and make sure you put in a good word whenever you like a particular video.